Good morning and welcome to today's daily dose of growth. Talking about your financial health and VAs, VPAs, virtual assistants, virtual personal assistants. These have become so popular. So here's what it is for those of you that don't know. A virtual assistant is somebody that lives in another country but helps you do your shit here. It's widely used by Americans and Western Europeans. Big reason is it's cheaper to hire an American graphic designer is maybe $40, $50 an hour. You can hire someone that's 80% as good for $5 to $6 an hour. And nowadays you can just use AI. But realistically, a lot of businesses use this, especially a lot of solopreneurs, people that are trying to run their side hustle, people that are trying to grow. It's a cheaper way to kind of have things done. Maybe you need bookkeeping. Maybe you need social media. Maybe you need somebody that can respond to emails, set deadline or set appointments, help you with deadlines, all that kind of stuff. So virtual personal assistants are amazing. Philippines is probably one of the biggest ones. Nigeria has a lot of them. And so you can pay people $4 to $5 an hour to have them work for you and do all sorts of stuff. So there's a lot of sounds amazing, right? A lot of drawbacks. So there's a lot of companies out there that will sell you rights to a virtual assistant, kind of like football players, NFL players. You know, you have rights, you draft this person, they're under contract, yada yada. And so what they've done is they've vetted, because if you ever try to do this on your own, you will know what I am talking about and how frustrating it is. So just for me, so I have probably roughly 80 to 90 employees, and probably half of them are virtual employees, assistants or whatever from other countries. Bangladesh is some, a couple from, holy cow, I'm drawing a blank. I don't know why. Nigeria is big, Ghana, Philippines, obviously, a couple Vietnam, but anywhere where they're like, I guess their living costs are lower, their pay rates are lower. So like in Bangladesh, for example, $5 an hour puts them in like the top 30%. And so as an Americans, $5 an hour, you'd be in the bottom. But for them, it's a great pay rate. So if you can have a Bangladeshi that is getting paid $5 an hour, they're making more than 70% of their countrymen. So they're happy, they're excited, yada yada. But here's a problem that you find. There's a lot, actually. I'm going to try to focus on one that's happening in my life right now, and hopefully teach you a little lesson that I'm somewhat learning this moment. So I have a lot of VAs. We go through a lot when I hire. We have hiring hoops, which is how we make it more difficult. So we make a post. There's usually like 150 applicants. And we're like, okay, now you have to do this task, which is a 5-minute, 10-minute task. It's usually pretty simple, but it weeds out maybe half of them. And then we have another task. Hey, go do this. Okay, that weeds out another half. And now we have our candidate pool down to like 10. I usually hire all 10 of them and just start giving them tasks to do. And eventually they stop showing up, this or that. There's a lot of things. So one of the biggest things that I just talked about with one of my coaching clients, his VA, is entrepreneurial spirit and ambition is like really, really just American. As much as I hate to say that, I mean Western European as well, but a lot of these virtual assistants, that's how they've been taught. They're educated. Just you show up, you work, you get paid, you go home. And I always want people like, hey, if you do this, great, we'll pay you this, but I want all this, and we'll pay you way more to get all this done. And that doesn't translate very well abroad. But here comes the biggest problem I'm having right now is sometimes their decisions are, in my eyes, erratic and irrational. So millionaires are made. Woohoo! Everyone go buy a shirt right now. I don't have the link. Maybe I do. Oh, no way. See, it's already set up ready for you. Scan that QR code. Let's go. So this shirt, yeah. Millionaires are made. We've had a team there. Our main head guy has been there like 2.5 years now. Growing the show. About a month ago, his mother was in a car accident and had to have surgery, somewhat serious. And so we sent him some money to help out with costs. And I was like, hey, Tell us how much. We can figure it out. We have Millions Are Made as a top 100 show. We have tons of people that would be willing to chip in $5-10. And he was like, no, I don't want to just take money. I want to go like earn it, et cetera, et cetera. Well, turns out a couple of days ago, without telling me, he decided to sell his laptop, cell phone, and everything and move back to his village or his tiny town with his mother. So apparently he's no longer with us. And that is something that rarely would happen in the U.S. Most people give 2 weeks notice, or at least communicate and talk this or that, or also accept help if needed. And so I found that out from a mutual friend, his girlfriend, who also was working with us, and she might be leaving too. So now our head guy for Millionaires Are Made is gone, and so now I am having to revamp SOPs and make sure that it's ready to go. We have our first show of the next year in like 3 weeks. So we have our work cut out for us, but just redoing systems and this and that, and everything that he had, passwords or, accounts he created, like Podmatch is one that he created, and he did a lot on Podmatch, and I never really did much on. So we got to figure out those and try to get that going. And now I have to hire new people to take over for them. And that is something you'll always have to deal with in a business. But it's harder when it's something you think you could have solved. Like, oh, okay, well, how much does it cost to bring your mother into the city and get her an apartment? Okay, let's build out how we can get that all paid off. Okay, do we need to sell more shirts? Hint, hint, go buy some shirts so we can take care of his mom. Do we need to increase sponsorship prices? Or do we need to do a GoFundMe and do a little raise? Or how much do you need and all that? And, there's no answer. He just sells everything to get money and go home, which is, in the end, a short-sighted answer, because if there's no generating of revenue, of money coming in, you're going to run out, and your mother's going to be in a worse spot than if you had your computer and your phone and you were still working and earning money. So I guess that's the frustrating part of everything. And so in my mission, why I love hiring VAs is because everything I do, hint, hint, awesome shirts. Just, yeah, every person you meet knows something you don't. The whole show is built on that premise. Grab your shirt right now. And so the goal is to get everyone in the world from here to here and learning and realizing that what we call ambition, entrepreneurial spirit, what other words are there? It's, you essentially have to like teach that first. And anyone that's hired VAs or done this or done that, been involved in that, knows exactly what I'm talking about. And it's something that's, I guess, super American, super Western. I mean, super Western Europe. I mean, they're pretty entrepreneurial there too. And so it's kind of interesting. Like, the first step to hiring someone is I have to teach them, hey, you can be financially free. You can be, mentally strong. You can learn so much intellectually. I can teach everything to you. Like, intellectually, you're going to grow no matter what, just by being a part of our team. Financially, you're going to grow no matter what. But I want to teach investing and saving and all that stuff. And it's like, I mean, he's been on Millions Are Made on every show for like 2 years. So he's learned everything we're teaching. And to be like, wait, all these experts are coming in talking to you, and he's helping us run the show. He's watching, learning, and all that. And apparently that is not good enough, which is setting me back on my life mission way more than I thought. Because now we have to essentially teach and inspire mentality. Then you have the question of, is what makes what we teach better than what he might be learning? Well, I mean, there's probably a lot of arguments for that. I mean, I believe everyone in the world should know what a stock market is and how to invest it if they so choose. You should still know it, right? I think everyone should know probably all 3 or 4 or 5 of the basic religions. You should all know what Christianity believes in, Islam believes in, Judaism, Buddhism, Hinduism. We should all know at least the basics of that and choose which one we fit, or choose none, whatever works. Yeah, I get. Oh man, it's so hard to try to teach without imposing. But I guess teaching is just knowledge. It's not forcing anyone to do anything, but forcing them to learn. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Oh my God, is my whole life mission up in air now? Fuck. I don't know. Anyways, back to VAs. Just like any employee that leaves, they sometimes have decisions that don't make sense to you, and they can just up and leave you holding nothing. So it's even more important that your SOPs are in point and that your mission is clear. And if your mission is possibly not possible and you've got the rest of your life, I have 40 years more to complete my life mission of inspiring, teaching, and mentoring everyone into the healthiest versions of themselves in all 6 aspects of health. Oh, it's going to be tough. Anyways, that's how VAs happen, and that can be a big problem. A lot of times they just abruptly leave. I've had one of my best VAs. I still have no idea what happened. She was Filipina and worked with me for probably 3 years. And this was probably 2 years ago. Just lost touch. I have no idea. Maybe she changed her phone. Maybe her phone broke. I mean, it had to have been something personal. She was working for 2.5 years with me and just gone. Um, and it can happen in real life too. It's not just VAs, but it's definitely more common with VAs. Something might have happened in their personal life and they just disappear. So that being said, if you are thinking about growing and hiring a virtual assistant using Fiverr or Upwork or Freelance or any of those sites, there's a lot more to it. Go do some research and study before you hire a bunch of people and spend a bunch of money and lose it all. Um, Feel free to always talk to me if you'd like. You can drop a comment if you need more info on VAs. I've hired probably nearly 1,000 over my lifetime. Uh, and it's not the easiest thing in the world, but if you get the right one, it can be amazing. So hope